My shop is very unique. We do things differently here. For us, it's all about making them as stylish and beautiful as they can be.
When Counting Cars ended, fans thought Danny Koker was finished. He'd lost 35 pounds from stress, faced a $2.7 million lawsuit, and his marriage was falling apart. But in 2024, the count shocked everyone. While his old show was making $15 million a year, his new venture doubled that in just months. But the real surprise had nothing to do with cars. Today, we're getting into the untold story of how Danny Koker rebuilt his empire and why some fans say he's unrecognizable. Danny Koker was born on January 5, 1964, in Cleveland, Ohio. His family was all about cars. His father, Danny Koker Sr., worked for Ford as an executive, so cars and motorcycles were a big part of Danny's life from the very start. Everyone in his family, uncles, cousins, and family friends, was connected to the car industry too. But there was something else that made his family special. His dad wasn't just into cars, he was also a talented musician who sang and played the keyboard for a famous Southern gospel group, the Cathedral Quartet. This mix of cars and music shaped Danny in ways no one could have guessed. By the time he was just 11 years old, he was performing on stage at Carnegie Hall, showing off his musical talent. When Danny was 8 years old, his dad gave him a motorcycle. It wasn't just a gift, it was the start of something big. Instead of just riding it, Danny took it apart piece by piece. Then he put it back together again. That's when he discovered how much he loved figuring out how things worked. From then on, he spent his time working on bikes and cars, taking them apart, fixing them, and making them better. By the time he was a teenager, he was already helping his dad with car projects, learning everything by doing it himself. His dad brought home manuals and car parts from Ford, and Danny soaked it all up. He didn't have fancy training, just curiosity and a lot of practice. When he was 16, he was already making engines faster and cars cooler. One of his biggest early projects was his first car, a 1979 Camaro Z28. Most kids would have kept it the way it was, but not Danny. He turned it into a street-legal race car. It was a huge challenge, but he figured it out. By 18, he proved to everyone that he could handle tough projects, even without formal training. This was just the beginning of his incredible journey. In 1990, Danny tried something completely different. He became a TV host. He played Count Cool Rider on a late-night horror movie show called Saturday Fright at the Movies. Every Saturday, people in Las Vegas tuned in to watch him introduce cheesy horror movies. He dressed up like a vampire, wore sunglasses and a cape, and added his own humor to the show. His character loved Elvis, motorcycles, and classic cars, just like Danny. He even made jokes with a funny accent inspired by his grandparents, who were from Yugoslavia. The show wasn't just about the movies. Danny added his love for cars and music to make it more fun. People loved it, and his nickname, The Count, stuck even after the show ended in 2001. Danny didn't stop there. In 1998, he took his love for cars and started a small shop called Count's Kustoms in Las Vegas. The name was a nod to his TV character, and the shop focused on customizing motorcycles. Danny had a unique style. He didn't just fix bikes and cars, he turned them into something amazing. One of his first big projects was a 1932 Ford Roadster. When people saw it, they knew Count's Kustoms was special. Word spread fast, and the shop started getting more customers. By 2002, Danny moved to a bigger space to handle all the work. He expanded from motorcycles to classic cars, and even started making custom parts. In 2004, everything changed when Danny got a call from Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy wanted a custom motorcycle, and Danny delivered. The bike was incredible, with glowing paint and bat-themed details. It got national attention and made Count's Customs famous. Over time, the shop grew even more. By 2010, it wasn't just a shop anymore. Danny turned it into a brand. He opened a tattoo parlor, a rock bar called Count's Vamped, and even started selling merchandise. Count's Customs became a 30,000-square-foot workshop with over 50 employees, proving that Danny's passion had turned into something bigger than he ever imagined. Danny Koker's journey to fame started unexpectedly on July 19, 2009. He appeared on Pawn Stars for the first time to appraise a 1968 Mustang GT Fastback. At the time, he owned Count's Customs, a car and motorcycle shop in Las Vegas, and was already well known locally. Rick Harrison, the owner of the pawn shop, needed someone who really understood classic cars. Danny's charm and knowledge stood out right away, and viewers loved him. Over 3 years, he appeared in 23 episodes of Pawn Stars and became a fan favorite. People started calling him the Count because he used to host a horror movie show on local TV. But things almost ended badly after his second appearance. He and Rick argued over the value of a 1957 Chevy Bel Air. It got so heated that Danny walked off the set, and producers had to step in to calm things down. Rick later called Danny personally and promised he could have more control over his parts on the show. This helped fix their issues, and their banter on screen became something viewers loved. The idea for Counting Cars came in June 2011. Brent Montgomery, a producer from Left Field Pictures, was visiting Count's Customs to film for Pawn Stars. He saw Danny negotiating to buy a rare 1970 Plymouth Superbird. Danny offered $75,000 right on the spot, showing how passionate he was about cars. Montgomery thought this would make a great TV show. On August 13, 2012, Counting Cars premiered on the History Channel. The show followed Danny and his team as they bought, restored, and sold classic cars and motorcycles. What made the show special was how it showed every part of the process, from Danny spotting a car to the final reveal after it was restored. The first episode brought things full circle by featuring the restoration of a 1968 Mustang Fastback, the same type of car he appraised on Pawn Stars. It drew 3.1 million viewers, which was much higher than the History Channel's usual ratings. The success led to an order for more episodes, and filming started just 2 weeks later.
Everywhere, man. I'm turning over rocks. I'm digging in people's backyards. I'm peeking in garage doors. I'm never stopping, never stopping.
The show quickly became one of the most popular on the History Channel. By the end of the first season, it averaged 2.9 million viewers per episode. In some cases, it even outperformed Pawn Stars, which was the parent show. By 2014, Counting Cars was being shown in 150 countries.
Rick Harrison, yeah, you know him. He's from the TV reality show Pawn Stars. Well, we had a chance to welcome Rick to Erie and ask his thoughts on the roar.
And translated into 38 languages. In Germany, it became the most-watched American reality show, with 1.5 million viewers per episode. The show's success had some unexpected side effects. In 2015, Las Vegas police reported a 37% increase in classic car thefts. They believed criminals were inspired by the show to target the specific cars featured. Danny even had to warn car owners to take extra care. Danny's unique look also helped make the show popular. He had long hair, a beard, and wore all-black clothes with skull designs. His style wasn't just for TV. It showed his love for rock music and his band, Counts 77. Fans loved how he mixed car knowledge, business sense, and his rocker personality. In 2016, a survey showed that most viewers watched the show because they liked Danny's personality. Danny also had some fun quirks. He believed a leather jacket he owned since 1989 brought him luck when buying cars. He never washed it, and it even had over $10,000 sewn into a pocket for spontaneous purchases. One moment that showed Danny's big heart happened on November 5th, 2013. He restored a 1981 Corvette that belonged to a Vietnam veteran who had passed away. Danny gave the car to the veteran's widow, and he was so moved that he cried during the reveal. This episode became the most watched in the show's history, with 4.3 million viewers. Danny Koker's journey to success is a mix of hard work, creativity, and passion. When his show Counting Cars became a hit, his business, Kustoms, grew fast. The shop, which started as a small 7,000-square-foot space, expanded to a huge 40,000-square-foot facility by 2018. This growth let Danny take on bigger, more exciting projects.
Let's wander over to the office and let me get the title work from you and stuff like that and cut you a check and we'll go whatever you want to do. I love these era of Mustangs, and trust me, I know what I'm looking at, and I know we've got a winner.
By 2020, his team of over 50 skilled workers was completing 75 custom builds every year, compared to only a few before the show. Clients were willing to wait up to 18 months for his unique designs and paid high prices for his signature work. By 2019, the shop was earning over $15 million a year, which was a massive jump from the $500,000 it made in its first year. On top of this, Danny started selling Kustoms branded merchandise, like clothes and accessories. By 2021, this added another $3 million to the business each year. Danny didn't stop there. In 2017, he started selling rare car parts for classic restorations, which became 20% of the shop's income by 2022. He even started teaching workshops and training new people in car restoration, making his shop a leader in the industry. Danny's skills also attracted famous clients who wanted his special touch on their vehicles. In 2016, Ozzy Osbourne hired him to create a custom chopper. It took 6 months to complete and cost over $150,000. The bike had hand-painted bat wings and a powerful 124 cubic inch engine, making it a masterpiece. In 2018, NBA superstar LeBron James asked Danny to restore a 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air. This project took 8 months and featured a purple and gold interior inspired by the Lakers, plus a top-of-the-line sound system. The car was worth over $500,000 and got a lot of attention in car magazines. In 2020, Danny worked on a huge project for the Las Vegas Mob Museum. He restored 5 vintage Cadillacs, complete with hidden compartments and bulletproof glass, just like mobsters used in the 1960s and 70s. The $2.5 million project made headlines and even became a 2-hour TV special. Danny's list of famous clients includes Nicolas Cage, Tim McGraw, and Shaquille O'Neal. In 2022, he completed one of his most challenging projects, a $1 million restoration of John Lennon's psychedelic 1965 Rolls-Royce Phantom 5. The work took 2 years and required finding rare parts from 3 different continents. In 2012, Danny opened Count's Vamped Rock Bar and Grill in Las Vegas. The bar became a favorite spot for music and car lovers. It was decorated with vintage motorcycles hanging from the ceiling and rare rock memorabilia on the walls. In its first year, the bar hosted live music every single night, which made it stand out in the busy Las Vegas nightlife scene. By 2015, Danny expanded the space, adding a big outdoor patio with a stage and a rotating display of classic cars from his collection. This allowed the bar to host events like Rocktoberfest, which draws over 10,000 fans each year. In 2018, Danny partnered with a brewery to create Count's Custom Brew, a line of craft beers sold in bars and stores across Nevada. By 2022, the bar was earning over $8 million a year, hosting more than 500 shows annually, and employing 75 staff members. Danny also followed his love for music by starting a band called Counts 77 in 2013. He became the lead singer, joined by talented musicians from Las Vegas. Their first album came out in 2014 and had a 70s-inspired hard rock sound. The album, Counts 77, reached number 26 on the Billboard Hard Rock chart, and their single, My Detroit, got a lot of radio play. In 2016, the band went on their first national tour, performing 50 shows across the U.S. and earning over $2 million. Their second album, Soul Transfusion, came out in 2017 and did even better, reaching number 15 on the Billboard Hard Rock chart. Their hit song, Summer of '77, climbed to number 22 on the mainstream rock chart. The band played at big festivals like Rocklahoma in 2018, where they performed in front of 40,000 fans. By 2022, the band had released 4 albums, sold over 500,000 records, and even started an annual Counts Rock Cruise, where fans could see them and other classic rock bands perform on a luxury ship. The cruise became so popular, it sold out months in advance. Danny Koker's life behind the scenes of Counting Cars was far from the glamorous image shown on TV. When the show started on August 13, 2012, it quickly became popular. But Danny's reality was much harder. He worked up to 18 hours a day, sometimes without a single day off for weeks. By 2015, the stress started to show. He lost 35 pounds in just 3 months, and people around him grew worried. Managing both the show and his business, Counts Kustoms, was overwhelming. In a 2018 interview, Danny admitted he had to reject about 37 custom jobs each month because of filming. This cost his shop nearly $4.8 million a year, making the pressure even worse. The struggles didn't stop there. Danny often clashed with producers, especially over the show's staged drama. On March 3, 2019, things boiled over when producers asked him to fake a conflict with a client. Frustrated, Danny walked off set, shutting down production for 3 days and causing $180,000 in losses. At the same time, the show affected Danny's personal life. He missed 8 important family events, including his nephew's wedding, due to filming. In a podcast in 2020, he admitted how lonely it made him feel. Still, Danny stayed committed to his shop. In 2021, he spent $2.3 million to improve Counts Kustoms, even though it added more stress to his life.
Going to be a sizzling summer of custom cars. Counting Cars is all set with a new season, and earlier in the week, I caught up with The Count.
Legal troubles also followed him. In 2014, a couple sued Counts Kustoms for $50,000, claiming they paid $11,000 for a 1967 Ford Mustang and $39,000 for restoration work, but never received the car. To make things worse, their lawyer revealed that an employee had promised their car would appear on the show and even offered $20,000 in free upgrades. This caused a media frenzy, with over 27 news outlets covering the story. In 2017, things escalated when Counts Kustoms accused a former employee, Joseph Frontiera, of embezzling $75,000. He allegedly used company money for a Range Rover and plane tickets, even causing the shop to face an $18,000 IRS penalty. The worst hit came in 2021, when 17 former clients filed a $2.7 million lawsuit, accusing the shop of overcharging them by as much as 300%. Danny's reputation took a blow and legal fees piled up, costing him over $1.2 million by 2022. He even considered selling part of his car collection to cover the costs. Fans also began questioning the authenticity of the show.
Tell me about this one.
That's my wife's car. That's the plum crazy Coronet 500 convertible.
What year?
1970 again.
70 Coronet convertible, plum crazy.
440 automatic.
That's beautiful.
In 2016, a leaked document revealed that many spontaneous moments, like car discoveries, were planned ahead of time. Fans felt betrayed, and online engagement dropped by 32% in just 1 month. Things got worse in 2018 when former cast member Scott Jones claimed that 70% of the drama was fake, including client reactions. A viral video in 2019 showed a crew member placing a for sale sign on a car just before Danny discovered it, forcing producers to admit some parts of the show were staged. The backlash grew when a former client released audio recordings in 2020 of staff coaching him to act disappointed during a car reveal. These controversies even led the History Channel to consider canceling the show. Instead, they decided to enforce stricter rules, requiring at least 60% of the content to be real. The demands of the show also hurt Danny's marriage to Corey Koker. In 2017, the couple was seen arguing outside a restaurant, sparking rumors of trouble. In 2019, Corey admitted they hadn't taken a vacation together in 3 years and said she felt like a TV widow. By 2020, their marriage reached a breaking point, and Corey filed for separation, citing irreconcilable differences. Danny's friendship with his business partner, Kevin Mack, also suffered. Kevin said they barely spoke outside of work because Danny had become so isolated and focused on the show. The stress even affected Danny on set. Crew members noticed him becoming irritable, and one day he refused to leave his trailer after a heated phone call with Corey. But there was a turning point. On Christmas Day, 2020, Danny and Corey reconciled after a heartfelt conversation where he promised to prioritize their relationship. They announced in early 2021 that they would step back from running their rock bar, Counts Vamped, to focus on their marriage. Danny also decided to reduce the number of episodes for Counting Cars, cutting back from 26 to 16 per season. While some fans were disappointed, the decision allowed Danny to focus on his personal life and health. On December 14, 2021, fans of Counting Cars were shocked. The History Channel quietly announced the show was over after 10 seasons. The last episode, Mustang Madness, had already aired without letting anyone know it was the finale. People were confused because the show had good ratings and a big fan base. The 10th season was also shorter than usual, with only 12 episodes instead of the 26 to 30 episodes fans were used to. No one realized that this shorter season would be the end. The timing was strange, too. The automotive industry was bouncing back from the pandemic, with car sales going up by 3% in 2021. It didn't make sense to cancel a show about cars when the market was improving. Over the years, Counting Cars had become a fan favorite. It started in August 2012 and ran for 153 episodes, showing amazing car restorations and custom builds. Fans loved the intense deadlines and challenges, like when Danny and his team had just 72 hours to restore a 1969 Camaro. They somehow pulled it off, which made the show exciting to watch. But when the show ended, many stories were left unfinished. For example, Danny had bought a 1956 Chevy Bel Air in Season 8 and promised to make it incredible. Fans never got to see the final result. This made the sudden cancellation feel even more disappointing and incomplete. After the show ended, Danny the Count Koker didn't say anything, which was unusual for him. He loved interacting with fans on social media, But after December 14th, he went silent for 47 days. His last tweet, posted the day before the finale, said, "Tune in tomorrow night for an all-new episode of Counting Cars. You won't want to miss this one." He had no idea this would be the last episode. Danny even canceled an event he had attended every year for 8 years, the Barrett-Jackson Scottsdale auction. Fans started to worry. The shop, Count's Kustoms, made things more confusing. On January 5, 2022, they removed all mentions of Counting Cars from their website. They didn't explain why. Fans flooded the shop with questions. Some thought Danny was under a contract that stopped him from talking about the cancellation. Others believed he might be working on a new show. A wild rumor even claimed he had sold the shop and retired. Meanwhile, memorabilia from the show became super popular. A jacket Danny wore in Season 3 sold for $7,500 on eBay, way more than its usual value. Finally, on January 30th, 2022, Danny broke his silence. He posted a photo on Instagram of himself with a partially restored 1957 Chevy Bel Air. The caption said, "The road ahead may be uncertain, but the journey never ends. Stay tuned, friends." This post didn't explain much, but it gave fans hope that he wasn't done yet. Even though the show ended, Count's Kustoms kept going strong. Without cameras around, Danny and his team focused on their craft. They worked on bigger, more detailed projects. For example, in March 2023, they finished a 1967 Chevy Camaro restoration that took over 2,500 hours to complete. That kind of work wasn't possible during the show, where deadlines were tighter. Danny also started restoring rare cars, like a 1954 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing, which he began in November 2023. It's expected to cost $1.5 million and take 18 months to finish. The shop also started using new technology. In July 2024, they bought a 3D printer for $250,000. This helped them create custom car parts that were impossible to find. Despite no longer being on TV, business got even better. Count's Kustoms saw a 30% increase in clients, and the team was less stressed without the pressure of filming. Danny also began working with high-end exclusive celebrity clients. In April 2024, he built a custom 1969 Mustang for actor Chris Hemsworth. It had a Thor-inspired paint job and a unique interior made from eucalyptus wood. In another project, they restored a $30 million Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic for a collector. They even started making motorcycles for royalty, like the Prince of Monaco, who requested a custom bike with gold plating and diamond accents. In August 2024, Danny teamed up with Snoop Dogg to create a line of custom lowriders. All 10 cars sold out in 48 hours, earning millions. By 2024, the shop had its best year yet, making $45 million, double what they earned during the last year of the show. Even without counting cars, Danny proved he didn't need the cameras to stay on top. Meanwhile, in 2018, he told everyone he had a heart problem. This surprised people because he always looked so full of energy on TV. The stress from managing his custom car shop and doing a TV show affected his health badly. He started gaining weight and having other health issues. But Koker decided to change. He worked on losing weight and ended up shedding over 50 pounds. He ate better and started exercising regularly. These changes didn't just make him healthier, they made him feel better mentally, too. Koker has talked about how important it is to take care of yourself, and this has inspired his fans. Now, he looks more energetic and happier, showing people that no matter how hard things get, it's never too late to turn things around. Before this, in 2017, Koker had a tough time dealing with addiction. He got into legal trouble, and fans were shocked to find out he had been sentenced to 30 days in jail. The case involved controlled substances and a former worker at Kustoms. Instead of hiding from this, Koker admitted to his problems and decided to change his life. He started working on staying sober and got help from his family, friends, and professionals. Koker also began talking about his struggles, which made him more relatable to people dealing with similar issues. Over time, he earned back the trust of those around him and became a voice of hope for others. He now shares messages of encouragement, letting people know that recovery is possible if they stay committed and have support. His story shows how hard work and determination can help you rebuild your life after setbacks. In 2024, Koker surprised everyone with a big announcement. He said he was taking a break from counting cars to focus on his band, Counts 77, for a full year. This decision came after a huge concert at Red Rocks Amphitheater in Colorado. The band played for 9,000 fans in a show that lasted almost 4 hours. It was a massive success, especially because rock legends Alice Cooper and Sammy Hagar joined them on stage. After this, Koker and the band announced a massive world tour called the Grease and Gears Global Takeover. It started in Tokyo, Japan, on April 1st, 2024, with a concert for 50,000 people. Some songs even had a full symphony orchestra, adding something special to their rock sound. The stage design was incredible too, with a car lift that brought different classic cars on stage during each song. But the tour wasn't just about music. Koker announced that 50% of the profits would go to a new foundation. This foundation would help preserve classic American muscle cars and train young people to restore them. People loved this idea, and it even led to Koker working with Elon Musk on sustainable fuel for old cars. The tour became a huge success, earning over $100 million in just 1 month. Koker's love for music and cars came together in an amazing way, showing everyone that passion and hard work can lead to incredible achievements, even after facing tough times.